Welcome back. This is the Daily Thunder Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Woods. I am joined, as always, by Daily Thunder beat writer Brandon Rahbar. What's up, Brandon?
Not much, man. Just chilling with a 102.5 fever.
Oof.
I got my second vaccination yesterday, so you're gonna have to carry this thing. I'm gonna be your hype man this episode.
So you'll be my Poku to my Theo.
Yes, exactly. I don't know if I'm
okay.
gonna score 20 points, but I'll do my best.
Well, I don't know if I'm going for 33, but I got to try. We'll start with those two. Just an incredible night from Theo. I didn't see that range shooting coming. 5 of 7 from 3, 8 of 10 from the free throw line, 10 of 18 overall for 33. That's a career high. 5 rebounds, 3 assists. I thought he was, solid. Obviously, Oklahoma City lost this game pretty big. The first quarter was just a drumming, as was the last Thunder Suns first quarter. So the game was not necessarily close, but we got to see some really positive play from a couple of young guys, and Theo led the way. He's now the second Thunder rookie to score 30 points, the other being Russell Westbrook. And I was wondering, does Dort not count from his do they not count playoff games for that?
Right. They don't count the playoff games and all the stats that you see. It's like the playoff stats are their own thing. So, obviously what Dort did was more impressive. Game 7 in the playoffs, scored 30 points and hit all those threes. But that said, Maladone with 33, that's joining Russell Westbrook in any sort of Thunder record is a big deal. So, and props to Maladone and Poku tonight. They were both really, really good. Honestly, it was kind of a perfect game as far as making up some ground on a top 5 pick, but then you get to see the two rookies, the 19-year-olds, go off. That's what you want to see if you're a Thunder fan for the rest of the season. The young guys showing promise, but hopefully getting closer and closer to that top 5.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what you want to see for the rest of the year. Is a lot of Theo, a lot of Poku, a lot of Tony Bradley, Moses Brown, Roby. Those are the guys you want to see a bunch of minutes from in games where they lose. They're back at it tomorrow night with Portland. So, and Portland also played tonight. They lost to the Bucks. But so a couple of West upper end Western Conference teams that they face, and hopefully we see a game like the one tonight, tomorrow night against Portland. Let's talk about the play where Poku made a move into the lane, looked like he was going to go up for a contested layup, took one more step and wrapped a left-handed pass out to the wing to Theo for a 3, which goodness, I'm glad he made, because it really validated what I thought was Poku's most positive play of the year.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. We'd heard so much about Poku's vision and passing ability at 7 foot coming into the season. And we've seen this quite a bit, especially in the G League. He had those highlight plays in the G League, but everybody will talk about the 20 points that Poku scored, and he hit a few threes, and he's coming along really nicely offensively compared to where he was at the beginning of the season. But if you were to kind of come up with the top 5 most impressive plays that Poku's made this season, a lot of those would be passes. And, it just kind of goes to show you again what the Thunder were looking at when they wanted him. There's not many 7-footers who can make that play that he made tonight.
Yeah, and another pass that he made, the Roby didn't make the shot. It was during garbage time at the end, but Poku grabs a rebound. He's at like the 3-point line, maybe a step closer to the basket, and he just lofts a pass down the right side, and Roby was about a foot or maybe a step or two on across half court when he threw it. and the ball just falls right in Poku or in Roby's shooting pocket at the 3-point line. It was it was such an awesome pass, and again, we've talked about how much fun it's going to be when things slow down for him, and they really are. His handle has gotten so much better. He's figured out what well, I should say he's completely figured it out, but he's figuring out what he can and can't do handle wise against NBA talent right now. And he's getting by a lot of guys that are smaller than him that would probably have the advantage as far as getting steals against him, against his handle at that size. But he's getting by them and getting in the lane. And I think it's such a positive that he's doing this now at 20 as the youngest guy in the league. And going forward, who knows what we're going to see this time next year from Poku. I think it's so exciting.
Yeah, even better. He's 19, and I looked this up because I was curious. When his contract expires, his rookie contract, is 4 years. When it expires, he'll be 22 years old, which is the exact same age that Corey Kispert of Gonzaga is right now. He's going to be a rookie this upcoming season. Poku will have a whole contract in the books and done with, moving on to a second contract by the time he's Corey Kispert's age. And I say that to say everything he's showing right now, this is just gravy. This is, this is, we're kind of seeing the pre-K, preschool Poku. He's not even supposed to be, in the NBA right now, age-wise. And we're seeing flashes more and more. And it's kind of cool because the first part of the season, the first half, you can almost split into two halves. If you wanted to make a list of what you wanted to see the Thunder accomplish this season, it would be to get a top 5 pick, Shea to make a leap to stardom, and some of the young guys step up and show promise and talent. And the first half was all about Shea. He looked like a star. He really should have been an all-star. Now he's been shut down for most of the second half, and Poku didn't really flash. People were trying to bury his career already after like 10 games. And now the second half of the season, we're starting to see more flashes from Poku, from Maladone, and these young guys like Jerome and Svi and things like that with Shea out. So it's working out really, really well. I mean, the one, caveat being if they can also get that top 5 pick. But it's been a pretty ideal season for the Thunder as far as Shea, Dort, and the young guys go.
What a fact that is that you just brought out with Kispert and the age. Yeah. You're no hype man. That's that's something else, man. He'll be done with his entire rookie deal before he reaches Kispert's age right now.
Yeah, that's insane.
That is something else. And I think his shot's looking a lot better. Like he wasn't taking only wide open threes tonight. He took one there at the top of the key. But he took a contested one in the corner. He's taken some deep ones, like coming off the dribble. He's taken catch and shoot threes. I think he's really got a promising jump shot. We've talked about that he's probably going to start making these shots more and more as time goes on. And he had a great shooting night tonight. He was 7 for 14 from the floor, 4 of 6 from 3. You'll take that every night.
Oh, absolutely. There's a reason why he shoots so many threes. The Thunder wouldn't have him shooting so many threes if they didn't think that he was a shooter. That was one of the things when they drafted him. He was supposed to be a shooter. We didn't see it in the first half of the season, but the guy can shoot. They believe in him. It was just, if you go back and look at the tape from the first part of the season compared to how he's played lately, he would just get the ball and just kind of chunk it up. When you play with guys at the YMCA and they just kind of panic when they get the ball, they don't know what to do. They just kind of jack it up, whether they're contested, whether they're 4 feet behind the 3-point line. Now he gets it. He controls it. He'll dribble drive. He'll try to take his defender off the dribble. He'll go into a mid-range shot that's open. He's taking smarter threes. He's usually only taking them if they're open. So he's just taking smarter shots, and he doesn't look so rushed. We heard Daignault and Kenrich Williams both say that the game's slowing down for him, and that's just not coach speak or player speak. It truly is slowing down for him.
Oh, you can totally see it. It's such a huge difference between a game like tonight and over the last couple weeks compared to what he was like before he went to the G League bubble, right? Like just not even it's not even close. It looks like totally different players.
Yeah, it really does. And I'm just happy for Poku because he got a lot of, heat from, analysts and things like that. He's kind of made fun of a
Oh yeah.
lot. Those
Yeah,
first
he was a
10,
punchline. He was a
he was a
punchline for a
punchline.
while.
He really, really was. And it just kind of shows, nowadays with social media and, instant gratification, we want to like make all these sweeping statements about what a player is going to be. That's 19 years old, 18 when the season started.
Yeah.
Based on a handful of games. It's nice to see him, starting to flash that talent that I know that the Thunder believe he has, and I think that we're all starting to see now.
Two more things before we get out of here and get you to bed with a fever. First of all, Phoenix is a wagon.
Yeah, they're a really, really good team. Number 2 in the Western Conference. Obviously, some of that's because it's a weird year with COVID and no fans and all the injuries to the Lakers and Clippers and things like that. But they're for real. I mean, between Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Aiden, and they have some really nice role players.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that they can.
I would say they have perfect role players.
They really do.
Mikal Bridges is like high end guy. Jay Crowder, been there. I love Cam Johnson. Like I think they are going to be a problem in the playoffs.
Well, even Cam Payne,
yes,
has been good this season.
Thank you
it was nice
him.
It was kind of nice to see, Thunder backup point guard of the future, Maladone, roast Thunder backup point guard of the past, Cameron Payne tonight. Yeah. But Payne this season has been really good, and I'm happy for him. Maybe he won't be known just as Russell Westbrook's dance partner now. If the Suns have some playoff success and Payne is a part of that, there's Cameron Payne is the perfect example, though, if we're going to talk about Poku. People are ready to bury 18-year-old Poku after 10 games. Cameron Payne has been in the league for as long as Devin Booker because he was one pick after Devin Booker.
Yep.
And he's having his best season as a pro. He went overseas for a while.
Yep.
And he's come back and he's
out
playing.
Of the league.
Yeah, so you never know. Everybody has different development timelines, and Cameron Payne has showed out. But the Suns, they can contend the season. In a weird season, they could come out of the West. I mean, I think we all just assume the Lakers or Clippers are going to come out of the West. But with injuries and all the weird things going on, Suns or the Jazz could come out of the West. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, and I'd throw Denver in there. I think Denver has found a new level with Aaron Gordon, and
for sure.
I think they're going to be great. I'm excited for the West playoffs. Just that top 6, like even the Blazers, if they could get Nurk back to like where he was, I think Portland could be quite the threat because Norm Powell has been such a great fit. I was really confused by the Gary Trent move, just because I think he's such a fantastic shooter and defender. But I think Norm Powell might be kind of everything Gary Trent was, except a little bit more of a playmaker and a better defender. I think that's a great addition for Portland. And they're getting Nurkic is playing, but not quite back to himself yet. But I like Portland a lot. I think the top 6 in the West is legit.
It is. It is. I'm really curious to see how the play-in, because you're right. The top six stand out, and then that 7 to 10 play-in, who knows what's going to happen. But let's hope that a few teams think that they have a chance at the play-in and have a shot to make it, so that some other teams don't start tanking. I mean, the Warriors. Yeah. I'll be really upset if the Warriors start tanking the rest of the season. They end up last year with Wiseman, although he does not look good so far. But again, we can't make the sweeping statement on him yet. But the Warriors may end up with the Wolves pick this year, and who knows if they're going to end up in the lottery or not. I think that we can probably kiss goodbye to the first round pick, but that's okay because the Thunder will just end up with the 31st pick in the second round, and they got Maladone, who scored 33 tonight, at number 34 this year, so that's fine.
And there's some names in that second round. That may be to me because I've watched a little bit more college basketball this year, so I recognize some of the names, but it seems like there's some quality guys to be had in the first like 45 picks. So yeah, and the Thunder have a handful of second-round picks this coming year. So we'll see. I don't know how they're going to sign all these guys. Here's the question of the night, and we'll leave it with this. If Oklahoma City doesn't draft a power forward, somebody that would play the 4, and the decision is start Poku or start Bazley, who would you think they go with?
Man, I'll be honest. Me, myself, I'm higher on Poku because I think his ceiling is higher. And I just think that he could be I'm really excited about what Poku could become. And I haven't given up on Bazley by any means. Now, Bazley is thicker. And if you're playing power forward, I like Poku as a small forward just because having a 7-foot or a small forward, we saw the Thunder have some history at that, and it worked out pretty well. You get some real mismatches having a 7-foot small forward. I don't know power forward. He's just so small. But again, I almost feel like to create the right mismatches with Poku, you either need him at the 5 to have a guy at the 5 who can do what he does, but he'd have to put on a lot of weight. Or you play him at the 3 where there's a lot of mismatches. I just feel like he would be out of place at the 4 for some reason. I don't think you can take advantage as much of his mismatches. So I'll say Bazley stays at the 4 and Poku stays at the 3. And then, of course, then again, you got Dort and Shea already at the 1 and 2. I see where you're going with this. You can only start one of Poku or Bazley. Give me Poku then.
Especially if they draft, a guy like, let's just throw for instance, let's say they take like a Moody or a Kispert in the top 10, then, you don't have to start either of those guys. But I wonder, do you think like where they were taken, do you think like, well, we took Bazley at the end of the first round, we traded, we gave up draft compensation to get up to 17 to get Poku. Do you think that would factor into the decision?
I think it factors into the decision, but not just because of that. I don't think they sit down and like, okay, we did this and this, we need to start Poku. But I think it shows how much they think of Poku. They gave up pieces of the Chris Paul trade, the Dennis Schroeder trade, and the Jeremy Grant trade to move up and get Poku. That's how much they believe in Poku. They're starting him right now when they could start other guys. They really believe in Poku. So he's a higher draft pick. They gave up more to get him. And honestly, he's probably shown a higher ceiling as far as, I'm not going to, just completely wash away what Bazley's done. He's had some nice games too.
And he still has some
potential. But I just think that Poku's ceiling potential is more exciting. So I think that to me, I would go with Poku. And, the only thing is Bazley's already had a starting position. So it's hard to take that away. But I think Daigneault has proven that he's a good coach that's going to play, what he thinks is going to end up with the best results on the floor. And if that's Poku, he'll go with Poku.
For sure. I agree. I agree with you about Poku. I would rather see that, but I mean, they're both so young and there's so many minutes to be had at that position for this team, especially with how they project. So I'm excited to see both of them. I think you'll see them on the floor together a lot, but just a fun little hypothetical going into next year. And who knows, they could draft Kuminga or Mobley and things change and we, it's a totally different dynamic, totally different question.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think that the rest of this season, there's going to be a lot of heavy Poku minutes, and he can kind of help solidify his case going into next season if he continues to show out. And there's going to be up and down games. Tomorrow night they play again in less than 24 hours, and Poku could very well, go 0 for 7 from 3 and end up with 4 points on 12 shots.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how it's going to be with rookies. But you see the potential, and it's exciting.
Absolutely. All right, Thunder fans, we will wrap it there. Brandon, you go get some rest and feel better soon.
Absolutely, man. I'm going to sleep for like the next 16 hours. So tomorrow night, hopefully I'll sound more like myself.
Do it. We'll call this your flu game.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for listening again. This is the Daily Thunder Podcast.